In Nuke 13, you now have access to a new suite of plugins in the AIR or Artificial Intelligence Research menu. Here you will find the latest in our machine learning tools. The main node is the CopyCat node. Its aim is to replicate custom effects by learning from a set of training images. The key concept here is that you will feed the node pairs of before and after images, and the node will learn how to copy the transformation to get from one to the other. In this example, I've created a cleanup of my actor's face on just 2 frames, and want to replicate the patch across the other hundreds of frames in the sequence. I've also prepped my dataset by either rendering the input as its own sequence, or using the append clip node to combine multiple clips into one. This allows me to connect the CopyCat node, using the input pipe for the image sequence I wish to apply my effect to, and the ground truth pipe into the result I've created and want to replicate across all frames. After connecting the node, I'll set where I'm going to save my files, such as the training crops, checkpoint file, and training summaries. Now before starting the training, I will set my epochs, which is how many times the CopyCat node goes through the dataset before stopping the training, and a few other knobs which allow me to tailor my training setting. More information on these will be in our documentation. Now I can hit Start Training to begin. In the viewer, you will now see a CopyCat output image and a contact sheet of property images. These cropped images represent the random crops that are taken from your datasets, and from left to right it will display the input data, the ground truth data, and the output data. Initially, the CopyCat output image may look noisy, but in time will look more like your ground truth image. You can also visualize how your training data is performing in the Graph tab. This shows the error over the amount of steps, and typically, if you see a downward trend, you can assume the training is going well. Once the training is completed, you can select the knob Create Inference, which will automatically create an inference node for you. The inference node applies the result of your training to the input image you provided. So if you train an effect using CopyCat, you can share the cat file created when training the network to multiple artists, and they can apply the effect to their individual shots. Say an artist loads the effect using the inference node, but it's not quite right. You can continue training that dataset with the new image data of their shot. To train an existing effect model with new image data, go to the Advanced menu in the CopyCat node, set the initial weights knob to checkpoint, and load in the previously trained cat file. Now you can utilize the hidden preview pipe, which when connected to a frame of your new input sequence, will allow you to view how the model will work when applied to a frame that is not part of the dataset you used to train the initial model. As the training progresses, the preview image should move toward the ideal result defined by the ground truth. We have also included 2 pre-trained tools that any artist in Nuke can utilize straight away. The first is the upscale node, which upscales the footage by a factor of 2. This is similar to Nuke's TBI scale node, but when compared, you can see you can get much nicer results, especially when working with fine details. The second pre-trained node is the deblur node. This removes motion blur from the input and can be especially great when working with stabilized footage. This node also has a mask input in case you want to isolate the effect to a specific area. With Nuke 13, we are introducing a machine learning framework that will allow artists to harness the power of machine learning to generate new tools and accelerate their work. This is a key difference from other machine learning solutions, as we are putting machine learning directly into the hands of the artists and making them the center point for the quality of the work.